Good.
Thank you.
Okay, art heads. Well, it's time to do what we do here, which is run around and check out the art scene here in New York. And we're down here at the new Whitney. We're gonna take a walk around. Oh look, we got the serious media people here that are covering Jerry.
From Al Jazeera.
He's being interviewed by Al Jazeera, that's great. Well, this has got to be the most exciting museum debut they've had in New York since they reopened the Modern. I'm not going to have time to run around and get all the details, but we'll just walk around and see how the new building looks. Oh, gee, there's the director of the museum right there. Adam Weinberg. Okay, well, this is the top of the rock, and they've got a great selection of, I guess, pieces from their permanent collection, and I could stay here for the rest of the day. But, well, we'll just sort of sweep over some of the architecture. This is beautiful. It looks like they've got nice open skylights with some of those fanned roofing designs. I've seen a lot of this out in the Southwest, so I guess they can open them depending on the light conditions. Well, the Whitney Museum has been a great cultural institution here. Birchfield, for years. And as I commented to Adam Weinberg during the last Whitney Biennial, I was talking to him about the Whitney's move. This is actually kind of the Whitney moving back to its roots. You know, it started probably about 8 or 9 blocks away from here on West 8th Street with Gertrude Vanderbilt Whitney opening her studio on McDougal Alley and starting the Whitney Studio Club. And I think that ran at that location until the mid-early 50s. Oh, this is beautiful. Florence Ted Heimer. This is one of the great unsung masters of 20th century American modernism. She was a good friend of Marcel Duchamp, and people like Andy Warhol thought she was great. This is titled Florence Ted Heimer, New York Liberty, 1918. And yeah, she's influenced a couple of generations of eccentric painters. Oscar Blumer. Oh, these are really some of my favorite early American modernists. I kind of get flashbacks to this painting every time I go across the Brooklyn Bridge, which is every day. Charles Demuth. Oh, and they've got a nice little selection of sculpture here. Oh, this is a beautiful George Bellows. One of the Ashcan school painters. Love that snow scene on the Hudson. This is a John Storrs sculpture titled Forms in Space. And yeah, so that's the Hudson. And over there is Hoboken. Oh boy, we've got some of America's most prestigious art critics checking this out. Oh, it's going to be a nice place to come for a Sunday afternoon coffee. And let's go out on the terrace. Oh boy. There's the Freedom Tower, or as some people call it, One World Trade Tower. You can even see the Statue of Liberty down there. Oh, this is beautiful. And, okay, I'm not going to be taking the elevator downstairs. Gosh, we got a little sculpture garden out here. Some David Smith pieces. One of the most significant cultural projects in New York City in the last decade, the Whitney Museum of American Art's new building located on Gansevoort Street between the elevated Highline Park and the Hudson River in downtown Manhattan's Meatpacking District, opens Friday, May 1st. Designed by Pritzker Prize-winning architect Renzo Piano and conceived as a laboratory for the arts, the building affirms the Whitney's role as the leading museum of modern and contemporary art in the United States. Well, so this is more of America Hard to See. Oh, I'm looking at some sculpture. Oh, and there's Walter Robinson. Hey, guy.
Look, they got David Smith everywhere you look, and one Ruth Asawa.
Ruth is great.
Feminine, voluptuous forms. It's like, makes you want to just hit that with a hammer, doesn't it? Makes you want to stick like a tire iron right through it.
Not me. Hey, thanks, Walter. You having a good time?
That's great. I love looking at
Beautiful. No, get out there on the terraces and check out the views, man. They're fantastic.
That's where my father-in-law has a piece.
Okay, so this is a Barney Newman. Day one. And so we've got the abstract expressionists and the action painters here. Must be a De Savuro. Oh gosh, that got a huge Lee Krasner. Well, I don't think I've ever seen such a major Krasner in a museum as this. Wow. Well, great de Kooning, Joan Mitchell. I guess they've been working on this project for about the last 5 years. Oh, there's one of the couple of $100 million de Koonings. Oh, maybe it's only $150 million de Koonings. Woman and bicycle. I like it. Hedda Stern. This was the one woman that was in the painting, the photograph of the Erasmus. And gosh, this looks like spray paint on there. Airbrushed enamel on canvas. Oh, there's a very nice little Gorky painting. And Jackson Pollock. Alfonso Sorio. This guy was involved with Art Brut and Dubuffet. Nice Louise Bourgeois sculpture. This is a classic Philip Guston abstract painting from the mid-50s. And we've got a giant Rothko. Gosh, Krasner is the biggest painting in the room. Oh, somebody referred to this as the lefty room. But this would be where we get a chance to see some of the social realism. This is opposed to the socialist realism. Oh, Jacob Lawrence. Jacob Lawrence has got a major exhibition up at the Modern of his Migration series. Reginald Marsh. Some of these were considered the 14th Street School or the Coney Island School. Oh. This is a sketch by Edward Hopper of Night Hawks in a cafe. George Bellows. This is Alexander Calder's The Circus. This is Ben Shahn. This is a great painting. I think this is Paul Cadmus. And some great graphics. This is another Philip Guston, and you can see where he kind of got a lot of his imagery from. So I guess they moved into their Brower Design building up on Madison Avenue sometime in the mid-late 60s, and they were there until now. So that's 50 years. And now they're back down in the bottom of Chelsea. Oh, more Ben Shahn. Andrew Wyeth. It's 1942. Man Ray. So now we get a chance to see some of the American surrealists. Jared French, one of Paul Cadmus's friends. Oh, this is great. A lot of these pieces you only see in catalogs because they don't take them out of storage very often. Louis Guglielmi. Terror in Brooklyn. I like that.
It's like a low value card.
George Tooker. Edward Hopper. Well, this is one of the reasons I love the Whitney, is because it's got a lot of great American art, and I'm curious because they've taken a lot of criticism about Joe Jones, of the chauvinism of including American art in the title. James Castle, oh, he's an outsider. Grant Wood. So now they're just calling it the Whitney Museum, whereas it was for years was always known as the Whitney Museum of American Art. And I guess that was to maybe distinguish it from the Museum of Modern Art. Marsden Hartley, Bill Traylor, oh, as another outsider. So we can sort of see where they're recalibrating their institutional aesthetics. Charles White. This is a great ink drawing. Oh, there's another classic. Arshile Gorky, Self-Portrait with Mother. Gee, I wonder if those are Mary Heilman chairs. Kind of looks like it. Well, so this is the 6th floor, which would be the minimalist gallery. And right here in the center we got a Don Judd painted steel, a Larry Bell box, Robert Smithson. Al Loving. I was going to say this is a little more decorative than a lot of the minimalism. We love Al Loving. This is an early Bryce Martin. And Truett. This is one of the few minimalists that Clement Greenberg championed. David Navarros. Okay, so we're moving from the minimalists into, I guess, what would be considered the process artists, or maybe even eccentric abstractionists. I think that's a Richard Tuttle. This is by Eva Hess. And Richard Serra's prop and lead pieces. Michelle Stewart. Memory Hill. This is actually graphite on paper, and yeah, from across the room, this looks like it's a sheet of lead. Raphael Ferrar. Neon Corner. Raphael is an artist that's getting a lot of attention these days too. Oh, we're kind of walking back in time. George Siegel's sculpture, we're walking back into pop. Zsuzsa Selman's. Oh gosh, they've got murals on the walls in the elevator. This is a Tom Wesselman. And, well, let's see where Jeff Koons is getting a lot of his ideas from. Great Ed Ruscha, James Rosenquist, Klaus Oldenburg, Romare Bearden, oh, it's a great Peter Saul. Actually, we're lucky because I'm sure that a lot of this will be put back into storage and we won't see it for years. Some of the conceptual artists. Raw War, Larry Clark, Ankawa, Andy Warhol's
to a band go.
campaign poster from a
We'll
governor.
see you down there probably.
Well, we got some of the Chicago school artists.
And right next to him, Chicago, Jim Nutt.
And Jim Nutt.
I don't know these people, but this is Jim Nutt, Chicago, West.
Nam June Pike.
No, that's Dick.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, this guy is what they call a
Free Woman, Free Angela. This is the gallery of high pop. So you get-
John's three flags that have become associated with pop art and the circulation of images and advertising at the time. But we've also put in less familiar figures. We have a
Morisol.
over there by an artist named Malcolm Daly, where he shows a diagram of a slave ship with many slaves on board at the time, next to an anatomical drawing of a cotton plant, alluding to the fraud and past of cotton farming in the United States.
Alan Archangelo. He's one of my favorite lesser known pop artists, but he really was great. Oh, okay, this is the one I would take home. Jasper John's Three Flags, 1958. Andy Warhol.
It's a self-portrait of the artist 4 times at different ages. It's called Woman and Dog, and this is a real taxidermy dog.
Wayne Thiebaud. Pie counter. Okay, so now we've got some of the assemblage funk artists. Some of them are California people. Ralph Ortiz. Louise Nevelson. Geez, this is the first Rauschenberg I've seen so far. It's titled Satellite, 1955. Oh, that old chicken is looking pretty sad. It's an Al Held book. That's interesting. Jess. Tricky Cad, Case 1. A lot of these are California artists. Berman. And here's the Rose, maybe one of the most mythical paintings in the history of American painting. J. DeFeo's masterpiece. Lee Bontecou, Untitled. Now, Lee is an interesting artist. She was a superstar, and then she kind of dropped out of the scene and disappeared, and maybe in the last 5 or 10 years has been rediscovered and made into an icon. Jim Dine. Some of the reductivist paintings. Carmen Herrera. Now, I think this is the lady that has been painting for about 70 some odd years, and they've just rediscovered her about 5 years ago. John Mclaughlin. Very famous California reductive abstractionist. And, here's the saintly Ad Reinhardt in one of his rectangular paintings. And, this is great. They don't have glass on this one, so you can actually see the surface of the painting. Agnes Martin. Joe Bear. It's a great Ellsworth Kelly. And, look at this. It's a 1959 Frank Stella. Die Pfanne Hoche. I think that translates as to something like the high flags, or hold the flags high. And I'm not sure, but I think Frank Stella was only 24, 25 when he was painting this series. Okay, so we're here on the 5th floor. And so we're looking at the early 80s, late 70s. It's a David Saleh. There might be posters by Act Up. It's about the time I dropped into New York. It's a Major Barbara Kruger. John Kearns. Jimmy Durham. It's a David Hammond's piece. And, I think he made this out of hair that he picked up at in barbershops. It's a nice Kara Walker. Interesting. I guess I would call that a tapestry by Mike Kelly. Well, this is an interesting set of sculptures by Fred Wilson titled Guarded View. So we've got the uniforms that guards the various museums in New York where the Whitney that looks a little more military. The Jewish Museum. Well, we'll go down this way. Oh, there's the Jerry. Peter Hoosier. Well, I can kind of see that this particular gallery has the theme of the AIDS epidemic. Robert Gober. Kiki Smith. Sue Coe and Robert Mapplethorpe. This looks like a photogravure, maybe with a little mezzotint. Mark Morosoro. We've got a nice Martin Wong painting here. I used to bump into Martin every now and then, and we would kind of debate some of the obscure points of graffiti writers and text. It's titled Big Heat, and Martin eventually passed away from AIDS, but he was quite an interesting character and was very involved in the East Village scene for about 10 years, 12 years. Robert Mapplethorpe. Well, I guess this gallery would be classified as the Neo Geo consumer kind of late 80s. Got our Jeff Koons. Got a big Namjoon Pike installation. Peter Haley. It's a Charles Ray. It's a Keith Haring Tarplin. And Jean-Michel Basquiat. I get a lot of people complaining if I call him Jean-Michel, but it's Jean-Michel Basquiat. So we saw the white target upstairs, and we saw the three flags. This is Jasper John's Racing Thoughts 1983. So we talk about 25 years after his initial breakthrough. It's a portrait of Leo Castelli. Larry Pittman, another well-recognized California artist. It's been very influential for a lot of young painters. Richard Prince, Spiritual America. That's Brooke Shields, and I think she was 11 or 12 at the time. Dara Birnbaum. William Levitt. It's kind of a combination of minimalism and photo conceptualism. Sarah Charlesworth, who I think is going to be having a one-person show at the New Museum. Sherry Levin. Okay, this is the straight out photo and conceptual artists. Cindy Sherman from her movie still series. Anna Mendieta. Oh, Hannah Wilkie. And we've got a whole bunch of the video. Lillian Porter, Sylvia Plamick Mangold, Charles Gaines, Dorothea Rockburn. Dorothea's still around. Bump into her every now and then. Adrian Piper. Oh, this is nice if we kind of work our way down the various exposures here. Hans Hacke. This is the Schapolsky Holdings or something like that. Okay, well, I would guess that this would be the Neo-Expressionist Room or the Reemergence of Painting Room. It's a beautiful Cy Twombly. I think that's Alma Thomas. She's got a wonderful one-person show over at Michael Rosenfeld. Oh, Elizabeth Murray. I think this is one of the paintings that I saw at one of the first Whitney biennials that really got me excited. So I've always been a fan of Elizabeth's work, and I love the facture of the surfaces and the way that she worked the paint. Unfortunately, wow, look at the crackle here. Oh, this is going to end up in the restoration lab one of these days. Put a little stand oil in that top coat of yellow. Neil Jenny. And Susan Rothenberg. It's a very nice Philip Guston. Chuck Close portrait of Philip Glass, I believe. Titled Phil. Oh, this is a great piece. Jonathan Borofsky. Jonathan Borofsky running people, and wow, what a nice little area to come and relax and look at the river. Oh, it looks like there's a little rain coming down. Oh boy. Well, I looked at my clock and I realized that I've got about 2 minutes and I'm only on the 4th floor. So, well, this looks like a lot of contemporary stuff. Protests. Leilong America. Oh, Carol Dunham. Oh, that's a big painting. Huge Mark Bradford piece. So I guess this would be the contemporary Dana Schutz and Nicole Eisenman. Is that who that is? I think so. Well, the press preview is over, and they're telling your half-assed correspondent that it's time to leave. And I would just like to congratulate the Whitney Museum of American Art, and I will make sure that I'm going to be dropping in here to see many shows in the future. And as always, thank you, Kate. Man, it was a long winter without you guys. Thank you.